Hi, and welcome to Silverstone Technology Cluster's Ask the Expert podcast. I'm your host, Jeannie. Today's episode is proudly brought to you by TC Group, and today I am joined by Chantel Lauren Welsh from Silverstone Park. Hi, Chantel.
Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So before we get started, would you just be able to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to your current role at Silverstone Park?
Yeah, sure. So I started with Silverstone Park, almost a year ago now. I'm the marketing manager over there. I wear many hats, quite a small team. I kind of dabble in event side and the networking side as well. And I've spent the last almost 20 years now working in marketing. Used to work for a lot of kind of like destination placemaking and big brands in London. And it's been really interesting to come across to Silverstone Park and see what's happening over there.
Okay, great. So you've moved over now to the sort of engineering and manufacturing space.
Yeah, exactly. So my previous role was at Centre MK Milton Keynes, which obviously has got a lot of shops there as well. So in some ways there's some similarities. Obviously Silverstone Park is it's an advanced engineering and business like technology business park, and we've got 90 businesses there. And it's very interesting. It's a whole world away from retail. There's lots of people doing really cool like innovative stuff. People are working on like the latest AI agri-tech and things for defence, and obviously a lot of motorsport stuff. So for a marketeer, it's a bit of a dream because there's always something to talk about, which is great.
And so as someone who's leading marketing at an advanced engineering and manufacturing business park, how have you seen the marketing landscape there evolve for companies?
Well, I think what's quite interesting is, if you look back probably about a decade ago, business parks, B2B remit was all very kind of data driven, and it was all quite rational as well, a little bit dry, you might say. And I think since we've seen like the rise with social media, especially like LinkedIn and YouTube, you're seeing a lot more businesses. They've become comfortable using those spaces as well. It always kind of worked for retailers and big brands, but B2B businesses were always a little bit frightened to use social media. So now everyone's really comfortable with it. There's opened up a huge door for kind of more storytelling and narrative. And so all your traditional B2B brands, like a lot of the guys we work with on the park, they're suddenly realizing actually we can allow ourselves to have a bit of that storytelling, have a bit of that narrative. And it's a whole different way of kind of viewing things. It used to be very problem solution focused, and now it's just more narrative focused. It's quite an exciting space to be in from a marketing perspective at this time.
So, like when you're looking at Silverstone Park, you guys have such a huge range of businesses there. You've got over 90 businesses. Like you said, you're from motorsport to agri-tech. How do you approach kind of understanding such a diverse customer base and tailoring your marketing for Silverstone Park?
It's good because there's a lovely challenge there in that you've got so many different types of businesses and different types of stakeholders. And I think from my perspective, we want to help the current businesses that are there. We want to help market them, and as I said, kind of get some of their stories, some of their narratives out there. We want to help engage people that might be looking to come in the future. And then we've also got our stakeholders who have invested in the park. So you've got lots of kind of different areas to kind of tick off there. But we spend a lot of time doing research and speaking to the businesses there and finding out what's really important to them, and what kind of makes them tick. And with some research we did recently, it was quite interesting because we went out to prospective tenants as well, and the thing that came up the most was for all of those businesses, whether they're working in like motorsports or defence sector, it's people are like really important. And there's kind of a culture of creating community that's so important to all the businesses. So I think everything we do at the park, everything we do with you guys at STC is like, it's all geared up to fostering that community, creating a sense of community, and yeah, just giving people those opportunities to kind of collaborate and network. Because if that's what's important to the businesses, that's kind of what needs to be important to us as a park as well. So once you've kind of got that factor in place, it kind of helps to lead all the other points of marketing as well.
Because you're talking about collaboration, which I think is so important. And you were saying with retail and with those businesses, the kind of social media platform and all of those platforms, it's almost a given. And with digital marketing within engineering and manufacturing, it's something that people are just kind of getting on their feet about, really, isn't it? So how are you using sort of your digital marketing and your digital platforms to raise awareness of Silverstone Park and try to engage the wider community, not just the businesses within the park?
It's a good question. I think if you look at it in its really basic terms, I've got a little CGI behind me. I mean, we're kind of selling sheds and fields, like that's the crux of it, which is not particularly sexy or glamorous, but you know, like lots of our businesses that are actually there, it's way more than the product. We're not just, you know, that's the end function. That's what it is, but it's everything that goes around that. So when we're looking at actually Silverstone Park as a collective, it's, you know, what do you want to put out on your website, you know? So that's our shop front for most of these businesses as well, is that they might not have traditional shops that people will walk into. Their website, their digital persona is the first kind of touch point that they have with a lot of customers. So it's really important that for us as a park and for our businesses, that they kind of step away from their website a little bit and look at it and think, what is the user journey? You know, what is our customer seeing when they come on here? So if you look at the Silverstone Park website, for example, our lettings bit of is actually really minimal. It's really small. Like, there's a lot more information on there about news stories from our occupiers and work we're doing with the Ahead partnership and opportunities for apprentices and thought leadership pieces, and we're kind of working a lot more to do those sorts of things. And I think that's what we're encouraging the businesses to do as well, the ones that you know, they might not be as okay with marketing and they're kind of thinking, well, where do we even start? It's actually, don't just think about your product, because that's, you know, that's just the end bit, and not everybody is going to be at that place where they're buying your product now, especially if it's something in innovation. You need to be able to put all the other context around it. And so all those things like the blogs, the podcasts, the thought leadership, they position you. I've heard this term recently around demand generation instead of lead generation, which is basically, you know, lead generation is where you just have, you know, you generate a contact, okay, with a point that you're going to kind of sell to them. Demand generation is about kind of coaching that person on that journey, so that, you know, even if it's in a year's time that they're ready to kind of talk to you and do business with you, that you've already kind of educated them about who you are as a company, a brand, what you stand for, and all the rest of it. So it's a far longer approach, and I think that's kind of digital world is all about that now. It's again, it's kind of that storytelling piece. You know, it's not just an advert in a newspaper for that weekend. It's a much longer relationship. It's like relationship marketing. So yeah, that's kind of what we're learning to do as now that we're more of an established business park, and what we're trying to help our businesses do as well.
So if, just to help our listeners out, you're talking about digital marketing and telling a really compelling story. How, when you're trying to market to, say, engineers, innovators, business leaders, you're trying to market your business, how do you tell that story? How do you find your own innovation story and tell that story?
Obviously, I think it varies from person to person, but there are not going to be many brands or businesses out there that don't have some kind of story that's interesting for people. We focus a lot on pulling out stories that interest our prospective occupiers. So we know that ESG is like a really big talking point at the moment. So, you know, if we're talking about the work that we do with our schools program and how that's inspiring young people, or we'll look at how people can network. So, for example, we had the Digital Manufacturing Centre, had Ministry of Defence come and visit them a few weeks ago to work on this project Tampa that they've been doing for a while. And that's something that's, is not normally in the public sphere, people might not be aware of, but things like that, as much as we can give insights to our audience that are coming to our website, it really helps because it inspires other businesses as well, because they might kind of think, actually, I haven't thought about working with UK government in that way, or I'm going to speak to that business about how those opportunities, because everyone's got different fields that they play in, so it's not always necessarily like direct competition. But an example that came to my mind a little while ago, actually, and it's very old. It's from like the 1920s, but is always in your kind of marketing books when you read them. There was a copywriter, I forget his name now, but he did an advert in the newspaper that said, and the headline was, "Do you make these mistakes in English?" And they ran that advert for 40 years, and it was to promote a educational course. That's kind of what it was selling. But that headline, "Do you make these mistakes in English?" really captured people's imagination straight away. And it's a bit kind of that kind of clickbait theory that people have got now, though obviously that's not a positive thing, but it's the idea that you kind of intrigue your audience, you spark that curiosity, and you lean into that kind of emotional appeal, and then you show indirect benefits. The whole article was talking about kind of like some quick points of learning about spelling mistakes and commonly misused phrases, things like that. And at the end of it, it was like, oh, here's a 15-minute free guide. You can order your free book and then sign up for this English course. And as I said, that advert, like for 40 years, they ran that, and that whole business was made off of that. And they could have led with anything, like, do you want to learn English? But they tapped into, as humans, we know that we make mistakes, and I think businesses can lean on that as well. They know that if there's something in your customer base you can identify as a bit of a point of pain, and you can kind of help tell a story that provides a solution, that is straight away a really good way to capture people. So yeah, it's just thinking about your customers. What is it that they're struggling with? Are they trying to, is it what innovation area are they struggling with? And then, without giving them the full solution, just showing that actually you're on that journey and you can offer a little bit of insight. And you can just do that through blogs and podcasts and events, and it's quite simple, but you just need to be able to step back and put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Okay, so we've talked, you've kind of brought up the theme of collaboration a lot while we've been talking, and it seems to be a really big theme at Silverstone Park. How does the marketing support the growth of the partnerships and the community within the cluster that we've got going at Silverstone Park?
Well, we work really closely, obviously, with STC. We've been founding members. We've really recognised, I think, since the people that have founded the park, that how important clusters are, and that kind of network and collaboration. I think, I've spoken about it before on other blogs and things like that, that the pull of a cluster and that opportunity to network it drives innovation, and it's a tried and tested success story. If you look at Silicon Valley, I know that that's quite a unique thing in itself, but the concept is the same. It's that when you've got a concentration of businesses that are working together, even if they're kind of in competition in some ways, it drives innovation, it fuels innovation, it becomes a magnet for resource, for talent in that area. And we genuinely have a lot of businesses who, through the events that we run or the work that we do with you guys, or the schools program, it gives them opportunities to network in new and not contrived ways. It's I think it's quite difficult for people, especially in the digital age, to kind of pull themselves away from their desks and just have real conversations with other humans. But often, like, the best kind of collaboration stories that I've seen, or the best thoughts, have come out of those conversations. I think I was at one event, and I was talking to some of the female founders and the engineers that we've got at the park, and I'd only been in the role a little while, and I wasn't 100% sure of kind of the dynamics of the park, but it kind of became clear to me that actually we've got, for example, like a lot of incredible female founders and engineers and things like that at the park who, aren't the biggest voices in the room, because naturally, we are in a male dominated environment. We've got 60-70% of our workforce here, we've got 1,500 staff are men. And for me, I was like, I think that without in a condescending way, we need to be able to give those women a better voice. So, for off the back of that conversation, I was like, we need to launch a women's network at Silverstone Park. Why don't we do that? We can utilize the STC. We can kind of outreach to the wider people. It doesn't need to just be Silverstone Park, and we don't need to just focus it on engineers. There's a lot of people, women in supporting sectors that make great things happen. But by having a network, it gives women chance to kind of collaborate and do that in an environment where they kind of feel empowered by kind of all being together. So that's something that we're launching in June. I'm really, really excited about that. So more details to follow. But yeah, it kind of goes back to that, having those kind of conversations, real conversations with people. I know the events that STC do are brilliant for that. But it's get yourself out from behind your desk, and you don't know what you're going to talk about over a cup of coffee and where it might lead. It's always good to kind of get out and speak to people.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great. So if we're looking now a little bit wider,
yes,
Silverstone Park's located sort of in the Oxford-Cambridge growth corridor, and you're aligned with initiatives like the UK Advanced Manufacturing Plan. How do you connect your place-based marketing with national policy and investment trends?
Yeah, I think we are really well positioned and at kind of right place, right time at the moment, because obviously we're part of the Oxford Cambridge arc, and that's been a really big thing in Parliament at the moment, and with all the plans that are in place. And we've started working with the circuit and Buckinghamshire Council and West Northants Council on a project which is due to launch probably June 25. It's called Silverstone Visioning 2035, and that's been
we're launching Silverstone Vision 2035 at the Innovation and Growth Conference.
Brilliant. Okay, yes,
the 26th of June.
That's great. So 26th of June. So we're really excited, because I think it's we've been on this steering group for some time, and there's been various workshops around it. And what's been great about this piece of work is that the Whitecap consultancy that pulled all the research together, they took, because as I said, Silverstone Park, we do our own research we've got a lot of really great data around our occupiers, but having that kind of overlaid with the council's information, and then the circuit's information from like a tourism perspective and various other businesses within the STC, we've now got this like cohesive information pack that's like, actually we already knew it, but we know this is a growth area. We know this growth area as a cluster, and so launching it at the conference is great, because we're, as a collective, we get to say, this is the ambition for the area. And actually we can, they've got specialists who are going to be lobbying in government to say, we need to be able to have a talent pool that we can pull from. We need to have the infrastructure in place to bring people into the area through transport. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity. I'm really glad to see so many people that are collaborating on it.
Yeah, that's amazing. It brings me really nicely into my next question. What's next for marketing innovation at Silverstone Park? We've obviously got that, what we've just talked about.
Yes.
What else?
Yeah, the Women's Network, which we're really excited about, which we're going to launch in June. And then it's very much in its infancy at the moment, but we're hoping to host an awards evening later in the year as well. I think, as I said, I've been here a year, and I've realised that we signed up to a lot of awards, which are like different award ceremonies and bodies, which is brilliant, and it's always great to kind of be part of other UK business parks, etc. But I was like, we've got enough businesses here that we should have our own award ceremony, and why not? And obviously we'll extend it to the STC as well. But it's kind of it's a great opportunity to really celebrate the incredible innovation that's happening here. And we, as I said, we need to get our heads off our desks or away from our workshops sometimes, and actually reflect and take an evening to kind of pause and celebrate those things. And obviously from a PR perspective, it's great for us to be able to kind of shout about what the businesses are doing. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll be launching that in September. And watch this space. We'll keep everyone in the loop with what's happening with that.
That's fantastic. Lots of exciting stuff to come.
Yes, really, really good. Exciting place to be, and yeah, it's genuinely inspiring, and it's nice to talk about talk to people, the businesses that are genuinely happy and excited about the work they're doing, and then just to pull those stories out and just encourage them and share it with the wider world is it's a privilege. I do love it. Yeah.
That's excellent. So as a little bit of a takeaway for anyone listening or watching, what advice would you give to marketing professionals working in engineering, manufacturing, or innovation-focused sectors?
I think my number one advice would be to take yourself back a little bit, have a think about really who your customers are, what interests them, what their behaviours are, where they spend their time, what they might be struggling with, and then weave stories around that. You know, stories stick in people's heads far more than any other kind of content. It doesn't have to be elaborate, overly fancy. You know, we're a lot. It's a lot easier for us to create content these days. But if you're going to create content, you know, kind of make it worthwhile, make it informative, and yeah, just enjoy the process. Have conversations with people, connect with people. You know, that's not going anywhere. People still want to have relationships. And yeah, sign up to the STC, get yourself networking, just to see who you can meet. You never know. Everything happens through conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. And I think we're starting to kind of coming out of the back of COVID,
Yeah.
really understand the importance of connecting with people and having conversations and just being in the same room. It's lovely.
Yeah, it does make a big difference, and we all can start to socialize a bit more again. Although we've probably forgotten how to do it for a while, but yeah, it makes a big difference.
We're getting back into it.
Yeah.
Well, that's been really good. It's great to hear about all the things that you've got going on there at Silverstone Park, and you know, for you to share just a little bit of your marketing expertise with anyone who's struggling a little bit with B2B digital marketing. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you know, as I said, we always put out a lot of articles on our website and on our newsletter, which you know, we can share the link with people, but we're kind of hoping to develop that more as well. So I think it'll be good if people stay in the loop, and yeah, it's all good.
Get yourself signed up to the newsletter, stay in the loop, and you can hear about all the exciting things that are going on.
Exactly.
So
that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Chantal. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all of our future releases.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me, Jeannie. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
See you later.